Six String Country, what's going on? My name is Daniel Donato. Today, we're going to go over my pedal board, my current pedal board. Pedal boards change all the time. We as people change all the time. This is the most recent version of what I'm working with, and this is the motherboard tone center that crafts my sound. So let's not waste any time, and let's dive right in. Okay, we are here now, and I am lost in space, and I can now fulfill my dreams of being almost Morgan Freeman, but not really. The pedal board that we have here is the most recent version of everything that I'm messing with. I find that I'll go through a pedal board maybe every 3 months or something and move one thing over to the next. The most important thing I like to start off with is this chromatic tuner. The tuner is an important thing for everyone involved. Most people will not care what overdrive pedal you are using, but they will care that your guitar is in tune. So this is first in the chain for me. This company, Creation Music Company, makes my absolute favorite pedal boards. I've had this specific board for maybe 4 years now, and it's seen many countries, many states, and I absolutely love it. Go check them out. The first pedal that we're running into here is a Rubber Chicken from Love Pedal Custom Effects. Now this is Envelopelter. That's that thing. I really do set the knobs in a very universal way. Pretty much everything is right around 1 o'clock, except the volume that's turned all the way up. Why is it turned all the way up, you may ask? I'm the kind of player who likes to play with rolling their volume knob up and down. Very active on that thing when it comes to the guitar. So I'd rather a pedal give me a gain boost as opposed to it being a neutral thing. So in the case that I want to use this pedal to lift the solo dynamically, I want to have the headroom to also do that, aside from the sonic effect that this specific effect provides. Going into the JHS Bonsai, the Bonsai, to me, the best overdrive pedal I've ever owned. I've pretty much owned over 100 overdrive pedals, and this is the one that really sticks with me. We have a plethora of Tube Screamer decades to go and choose from. I have it set kind of Jeff Becky right now. What's really cool about the Bonsai is you can also change it to really be almost a clean boost by going down to this 808. Turn the drive down even just a little bit more and rolling the tone down right around here. Check this out. So no JHS Bonsai. JHS Bonsai. I just love that. I love how in the simple turn of a knob, you can totally switch the utility of this effect. The TS10 is one of my favorites too. For the light sounding thing. The Keeley mod is also one that's really spectacular. This is a special thing. The TCR in Gristle King. The Gristle King, I think T-Rex Effects still makes it. I'm not sure if they do. But this was the original guy out of some place in Scandinavia or Europe. Somewhere you need a passport to get there. But you don't need a passport to buy this. And right before the overdrive and boost pedal theme started to become a really relevant thing amongst a lot of makers, back in like 2009, this was kind of an anomaly of its own thing. And I bought it on eBay way before the days of Reverb, and they thought it was a used T-Rex make with just a misprint and I got it for a great price, and I don't ever change the settings. Here's where it's at. Here's the drive. It's just the thing I usually turn on to take things just a little bit more over the top. I don't run the overdrive by itself really ever. I'll just run it with another drive. So I'll set this back to where I like it. And then it just that little bit. Fantastic. This is just a simple clean boost. MXR Phase 95. Absolutely magnificent effect. A staple for the outlaw country sound. My point of entry to the whole idea of phase, the first time I ever heard the noise, was through Waylon Jennings, and it's kind of like the first time you hear Voodoo Child with wah pedal, and you're just stolen. You're drenched in wonder with what is this sound? How does a guitar make this noise? It's very easy. You just buy it and you set it to this setting, literally right here. You turn the light knob, and here we go. Very subtle. But what's really cool is when you try to start applying single note patterns to it, I pretty much leave it on all the time, unless it's the song that doesn't need it, and then I turn it way off. This pedal is like my first endeavor with working with Keeley Electronics. Keeley's always made my favorite pedals. They were the first pedals I ever heard about, aside from Boss pedals. Way back in the day, it was just a two-knob compressor, and you needed to have the Keeley two-knob compressor. That was the whole deal. I couldn't afford one, so I ended up borrowing one from a music store near my home, and ended up getting a pretty rare one off eBay, and then it got stolen. And right after that, I actually met Robert at a NAMM show, and we just became instant friends, and years of talking back and forth turned into this Compressor Pro, which acts as a limiter. So this VU, I think it's called a VU. I think it's called a reader. It just basically, it tells you how hard the compressor is working and when it is. And these are the knobs I always leave it on. I don't ever change it. It's not the kind of pedal that you need to change from show to show. And you don't even really run it with humbuckers. I just run it with single coils. And it does the job. It works with single notes. Right, you see it's not really happening in there. That's perfect. Now check this out. That's perfect. When I really start ascending on solos and I start to get hard on things, that's when I almost start strumming and I really hit the guitar with a lot of power. That's when this thing comes in. If you do want to change it to affect your single notes, you bring the threshold down a little. You see, even there, it's very subtle, very subtle. Setting it up also for a clean boost is a nice asset as well that this pedal offers. So like, another thing I love about it is the auto knob that allows you to let the attack and release be controlled by the pedal itself. I a lot of the time won't use that, but it's really cool if you're wanting to use humbuckers or P90s or something that's not a single coil guitar with this specific pedal. Can't recommend it enough. Into that, we go into this JHS Pink Panther. They don't make these anymore. They made I think they got sued. They almost got sued for using the Panther. I hope they don't get sued for this video. I like Panthers. I've never seen a pink one until this one. I love pedals that allow you to switch between digital and analog eras of delay, and that also allow you to have tap tempo and then also allows you to control the tone of your delay. What JHS does is they'll take great parts, really high quality, studio grade sounding parts, and they'll put them into these really simple interface boxes. And anyone who has owned just one guitar pedal in their life can learn how to work this, but you still get amazing studio grade quality, especially with delay. Delay is something that can cheapen the effect of a guitar tone pretty much quicker than anything else, aside from you not being in tune. So this is such a phenomenal pedal. I can't recommend it enough. I think I mess with the most is I'll mess with the dark knob. You can get very 80s on this by turning this all the way up here. That's just magnificent sounding. And then turn it down here to get your older sounding Ecoplex 5. Turn the mix up a little on it. Fantastic. Keeley Caverns. Let's talk about this reverb real quick. I have it set on the Shimmer effect. My favorite Shimmer with Verb is this sound right here. Ooh. Crazy. We're moving into the age of pedals now where it's like, it's not about how good does it sound, at least for me, because everything kind of has this base level of superb high quality. And I'm talking about JHS and Keeley, because as you can see, that's the majority of the stuff that I use. These pedals just are going to sound good no matter where you set them. It's just a matter of how easy is it to use, at least for me, because this is my live board. So if I want to change something, I need to be able to do it quickly and from an intuitive place. And so to get Shimmer Effect Verb, that's superb quality and easy to modify and change, and also to work with other effects, the Caverns is a no-brainer for me. So there's that. The modulated Verb's also a great vibe, and so is the Spring Verb. The modulated Verb, I think, would be for more lush rhythm-based playing, as with the Shimmer, but my use for the Shimmer is using like these high piano-style voicings. If I were to be, say we're playing like my song. Here's it off. Like all of a sudden, you're just leagues deeper into the sea. I think, at least. And wow, just a phenomenal unit here. The delay I use on the Caverns is to kind of replicate like old 50s style slapback. You can hear it just that's all it is. Yeah. What I like about this delay too is that it really is bright. Like it's absolutely bright, and it sticks out in the mix really well. With slapback delay, that's a huge part of the sound, is that it actually not be a very dark sound. You want it to be more of a brighter thing. And this delay naturally does it. You see, you don't have to set it in any way. It's a big deal. The H9, that would be like a whole separate video to talk about. I basically have it sound this very, very, very light verb. And why is that? Well, I'd like to pair it with this flurb from the Electro-Harmonics family. Whew, it's nice. So like anyone who's a Johnny Marr fan, that's that there. Very psychedelic sounding. I'm a big fan of Krungbin, and that band has some incredible guitar tones, like very unique guitar tones that are very hip and aren't really being done right now, and that's the verb he used. And he plays with it on, I think, the whole show from the rig rundowns that I've seen. It's a really specific sound. I sometimes will have 3 reverbs on. I just love reverb. I think it's like, in terms of guitar tones being done by decades, reverb and the use thereof is something that's kind of always changed. All guitars have kind of always been overdriven, even going back to the earliest times of, saying, Muddy Waters, and those were small amps that were turned up being driven by tubes. But it's the use of reverb and delays that really, aside from anything that you're playing on the guitar, just sonically, those are the things that identify decades and time periods in which players are making things for the collective of humans. And it's like, reverb right now is in a place where it's never been, where we have complete control over it in a digital sense. And I like to execute that as much as I can with my own interpretation of guitar and where it's going. So there's that. This is something, having said that, I like new things. I like things that people aren't using. And this is something I think a lot of people will be using in the future. And this is the plus pedal from Game Changer Effects. Game Changer Audio, my bad. And here is it in a nutshell, what it does. So, and check this out. You can lower the volume of it, and then you can also just cut it off. Very insane, very insane, very new, very new. It's a live looper, so it takes whatever you're playing direct from the signal and loops it there just within the smallest time frame possible. You can do single notes or you can do chords on it, and there's also an external pedal that comes with it that I don't mess with because I like to keep things very, very simple, as you can see. But yeah, that's it in a nutshell. How do I use it? I use it in between songs when I'm playing live. If you ever go see Jack White play live, he does not stop playing the entire show. There's always something coming out of his guitar amp. And I love that, but I want to do it in a way that's more poetic and with less abandon. So I like to hit a nice, beautiful chord. So say we're, you know. All right, and then I'll cancel it off, and then we'll go into our song. So like just right there, like I feel sonically like I'm doing something that's completely modern by using Shimmer Reverb to be really predominant in the voicing to kind of emulate those really pop, glamour, shoegaze tones. Using something that's unique to my own sound and sources of inspiration. Not saying I invented that sound at all. Jerry did that. But to say that I do it and to throw it into the mix of what guitar players are playing today, not a lot of people are doing that. And then using this new contraption to do interludes in between songs, just to provide lack of space. Because I'm a player who loves ambient players. I love ambient tones and things like that. But I love shredding. Like that's the thing, at least for me right now. But I want to incorporate the elements of that style of playing into what I do. So that's where that comes from. This thing's amazing. It's like never gonna leave my board. Just like how Tom Morello and Jack White used the whammy, like this is always going to be on my board. This will be there, and this will be there. Everything else is liable to kind of change de jour, just whatever I'm into, tuners, etc. But like I have a strong feeling that these will be like my signature things, like the starter pack, if you will. Also practice. It's important to note. This looper is awesome. I just got into looping. I just discovered Ed Sheeran. Like, it's very strange. I just discovered Ed Sheeran and I realized how cool looping is and how musical of a way it is to really lift up guitar and make it, for the listener, an orchestra, make it the entire band. We were working on a loop just while setting up this video by accident. Yeah. But let's talk about something that we can do a little bit more applicable to the demographic that's watching this video. Check this out. Okay. Say you want to do something that's more percussive, add on it. So that will emulate your snare drum. Let's get a bass in there. Cool. Now we're going to get our lead tone set up. That was Sugarfoot Rag by Hank Garland, one of the first major session players to come out of Nashville, Tennessee, way before Grady Martin and Brent Mason and Derek Wells. He was like the dude. Played on a lot of Patsy Cline recordings, etc. That was his song called Sugarfoot Rag, and that was done with this TC Electronic Looper. Didn't want to leave on the wrong foot. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm going to be back soon. This was my pedalboard video, but stay tuned for some upcoming videos of my favorite John Mayer riffs.